We are live with 9 million people in the house. Thank you for joining myself and Man Mini this evening. I'm sure she'll be popping in. Hey, I got things to talk about. Boy, do I have things to talk about. Corona being the number one thing. Corona Palawan. And also, get your friends here because we're going to be asking some questions and you'll have a chance to earn some money tonight on Dan's Live. Yeah. Uh-oh. Am I buffering already? Is someone, I'm looking on my phone. I'm seeing that I'm buffering. Let me go to the group chat to see who all is here. Aye. Oh. Yeah. No. Comments. Okay. I hope I'm no longer buffering, or if I was. Who's in the house? Anime Reyes is here. Mingay. No Cole instead family. Larice Juice, what do you say? How are you today? Charmaine is here. Cha Ram in the house or close by. Minnie Snow, what do you know? How is everything going? That doesn't rhyme exactly, is it? Prezi Manzanero, thanks for sharing me out. I really appreciate it. And who did I miss? Lorraine Pajadas, thanks again for being here and for sharing me out. Thanks to everybody who shared me out. Otherwise, we wouldn't have 9 million people in the house right here, right now. Get your friends and family here, though, because we're going to be drawing soon. No, we're not drawing. We're asking questions for money, right? 200 pesos tonight. That's 600 pesos will be given away to 3 different individuals, of course. The rules are no ninjas, just your primary channel. And then you only win once, and then you're out. Take yourself out of the picture, but don't leave. No ninjas, just your primary channel or your name and your address and your phone number, however you want to do it. So let's talk about some. What I want to talk about is Corona. But before we do that, we're going to talk about the number one story in the Philippines right now, which is the heat. The heat is terrible. The heat is on. The heat is on. And for that, I think I got to go to my phone and I got to talk about something here. First, I want to let you know that here in Leyte, it hasn't been, all the islands are different. I mean, it's a tropical climate. We're all not going to be suffering the way that Cebu or Manila are suffering right now, where they're having rotating brownouts and blackouts and lack of water and lack of AC and all this other stuff that's going on. Here in Leyte, it's been hot. It's been as hot. It's as hot as it's ever been, I guess, is what I meant to say here in the island of Leyte, but not as hot as other places around the Philippines. For example, I think today we probably hit a high of something like 38 Celsius. What's 38 degrees Celsius? Is that 100 degrees Fahrenheit or close to it or over it? But Manila and other places are getting temperatures of something like 46, 47, 48. It is absolutely insane. You're hitting 110, 115, 120. Yeah, we're going to talk about Chow Ram. We're going to be talking about that, Vekay. I'm going to tell you what I think about it. All right. It might not be such a pleasant topic. Oh, Larice, thanks so much for joining up. Thank you so much. Where are you, Larice? Let me put you here in the circle of friends. There you go. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about that, but let's talk about the heat. I got to go to my email though for the article that I ran into. There have been YouTube channels that have been talking about this, but not as many as you think. You think this would be big news. Schools are shutting down all over the place. They're sending kids home saying, don't come to school because it's too hot. We don't have AC. We don't want students falling out all over the place. We'd have ambulance going here and fro for students that are dehydrated and passing out. By the way, Irene and Irish is here. James is in the house. Pressy Manzanero, make sure, I know you will, that your kids are well hydrated. I use Nature Spring water. That's how I stay hydrated. Anyway, you use the water of your choice. Maybe you want to use the water out of the tap. I don't know. But anyway, so the reason why I'm bringing this up is because we had a YouTuber, very popular guy, start talking about, oh, I'm going to talk today about the things that nobody else talks about on YouTube. You should know that we're in a heat wave here in the Philippines. I started laughing. Oh, there's a revelation right there. You know, no one else is talking about it. Oh, really? No one else is talking about the heat wave, only his channel. All right. Okay, no. I'm not going to be mean. I'm not going to talk about John Ray. I'm not going to bring up his name. I'm not going to bring up the Bose's name. Everybody in the world knows there's a heat wave going on, not only in the Philippines, but all over the place, right? Because we're in what? El Nino. What is that? Baby Jesus. El Nino. Oh, sweet Jesus, get us out of this El Nino. All right. I hope I don't go to hell for saying that. Let me see. Cebu City. Cebu City is what? Did I pull up the wrong article? Oh, yeah. Well, this is related to the drought. This is what got my attention, right? It is so bad. There's a huge drought because of the heat wave going on in Cebu City that the farmers have made decisions to start giving away their tomatoes for free harvest. So that means that they'll give you a bucket if you show up to one of the farms in Cebu where they're having the worst drought that they've seen in a bazillion years, right? And then you just can pick them for free. And the reason why is because they would lose money otherwise, because these tomatoes are not ever going to come to fruition. They're not ever going to become the juicy tomatoes that they anticipated that they would have as a harvest this year. And it costs more money to hire a crew to come in there and start picking the fruit. They might as well just give it away. And so they're trying to salvage their operation by inviting everybody to move in there with their buckets and start harvesting the fruit. Now, this isn't just one farmer. This is a whole lot of farmers. Alien Cruise officials in the house. X-Jerks is here. X-Jerks, I'm an X-Jerk, so we have something that, actually, I'm a current jerk, too. So you'll find out about that soon enough. So he is Emilio Secretaria, a fine name, a farmer who owns 4 hectares of farmland in the barangay Sudlon 2 in Cebu City. And so it's a disaster. But in order to mitigate this, he's decided that, oh, you know what? I should just give this away. Now, I've seen people do this before. This has been done in California involving oranges and pears and apples and tomatoes even, right? Because Sacramento Valley was at one time, I don't know if it is now, the tomato capital of the world, right? That's where the nickname Sacra Tomato came from. And so I thought this was inspiring. It inspired me to the point of wanting to talk about it. Of course, it's unfortunate that we're all burning up in the meantime. But here in Bye Bye City Leyte, like I said, I think we only reached a high of something like, when I woke up this morning, it was already 90 degrees. It was already 32 degrees. And so, all right. So here's the action that we had to take, right? He's giving away tomatoes, and we had to do something. So I'm panicking because, of course, this means that all the air conditioners in the house are going to be running. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying hunkered down in front of the big screen TV. I'll be watching YouTube channels. Yeah, of course, I was in there. Yeah, I was probably in your channel lurking around if you were on. See what everybody's doing, you know. And so, but I rarely sometimes I'll say hello, let you know that I'm there breathing. But today I don't think I did. And so, but I was there. So the whole thing is that I hunkered down. And so I got this idea. I remember when we were growing up and we were having an El Nino event in Los Angeles area. It rarely gets that hot in LA. Charmaine is hanging in there with us. Thank you so much, Charmaine. I hope you win tonight some money. So here's the whole thing. Here's what we used to do. Because LA has such a temperate climate in years gone by. Tim Deziak is in the house. Hi, Tim. We don't have air conditioning. We didn't grow up with air conditioning. We were poor. Poor's relative. Remember, if you saw my video on the relativity of being poor, you don't really know that you're poor unless you have something to compare it to. Well, on a hot summer day where you have no air conditioner, I'm telling you, you start to realize how poor you are, right? So not really. The whole thing really is about you don't need an air conditioner 99 years out of 100. But then there's that 100th year. And then you're screaming like bloody murder. What the hell? It's hot in here. For D Gaming's in the house. Hi, how you doing? So anyway, we had to figure out a way to mitigate it for that El Nino year. And I recalled all this. I started having flashbacks of events. What did we do? What did we do? And so I'm going to share that with you to see if it helps you out. If it doesn't, okie dokie, I'm okay. But let's say you don't. Let's say that you have windows that you want to protect, right? They're radiating heat. So like here's one of the mistakes I'm going to admit to you in the construction of this home that we're living in. When the sun rises, it rises right in one of our big picture windows, right? So rises in the east, sets in the west, right? Or is that what part of the world am I in? Anyway, it doesn't matter. The sun for 2 or 3 hours as it's rising, I could look out that window right next to my easy chair and it is burning down. It's burning down. Yay, Merns is in the house with 50 pesos. Thank you so much for that super chat. So it heats the house up really, really fast, right? We're going through a heat wave. We don't want to burn air conditioning 24/7, although I have admitted that I could afford to do that. But I don't want to do that because, I like to conserve where I can, even though it may not sound like it. I'm a very environmentally friendly kind of guy. So anyway, let me tell you the story. So I started having flashbacks of back when I was a kid. What did we do? What did we do? So we took aluminum foil and we put the bright reflective side on the windows where it was facing the sun in the morning and the afternoon. So sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset. That's all you have to remember. And you go and you get aluminum foil and you cover the windows, right? Because they're gonna radiate through your glass and they're going to magnify the heat. But if you put aluminum foil on those windows, they will reflect the heat back out into the ionosphere, back out into space. Some of it, not all of it. You're still going to get 20% or so. That you can't do anything about except if you had curtains or you had shades, you could pull them down and use them as a barrier. And they work great as a barrier. But you first have to cover them with aluminum foil. So, of course, I send Man Mini out on a mission, right? And that mission is a mission from God, from Dan's mind, right? Basically. I'm not saying I'm God. I'm saying God is reminding me. I taught you how to do this when you were 5 or 6 years old. All you got to do is apply it again. Oh, I know you're an old man. I know you're an old man. So now, were you watching that? Listen, I was really, Tim, were you watching the Facebook thing? I was highly intoxicated, but at least I got up there with a microphone and did it. I sung a few songs. So anyway, I'm buffering. X Jerk says I'm buffering. I probably am because I could see on my phone the little thing of death, circle of death, halo of death, whatever you call it. All right, so let me get back to the story. So I send Man Mini out and I said, hey, go get some aluminum foil. But if you run into that stuff, the actual insulation that's double-sided uh, bubble wrap. So it has bubbles in the middle, or it has a material in the middle, and then it's got aluminum foil on both sides. That'll be better because you put the bright side out towards the window, and then the other side, the dull side. Some of it has double sided bright, but there's usually a bright side and a dull side, right? You put that facing inside, and that will keep the cool air in. It'll reflect the cool air, just like the aluminum foil facing the outside window will reflect back out the heat. Okay. They looked at me like I was crazy. I said, "Where are we? The Philippines?" I'm thinking to myself, have you guys not done this or known this trick? I know some of you are nodding your head saying, "Yes, we know this trick, Dan. We know it. Everybody knows it." But I'm not so sure because they gave me that look, bird sitting on a fence look. Huh? What? What do we do? Go get it and I will show you, right? And so now there's a downside to this whole thing. The downside is your house basically will look like a cave, right? You'll have to use lights to turn on the lights because basically, if your light is coming from the sun and it's rising in the morning and setting in your picture windows like it does in our house, well, you're going to lose that. You're going to lose that morning sun, right? But as I was saying, it's hot. It's very, very hot in the morning. And so already it was 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. I looked over at my thermometer. It was already 32 degrees Celsius. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to live with that? Am I supposed to live with that or live in a comfortable environment? And so Minnie goes out and she says, "Okay, I'm gonna try this." She goes out. She comes home with several meters of this stuff. She was able to find at the hardware store that insulation that was double foil wrap. And so we went to work, albeit it wasn't the smoothest operation that I've been involved with. No, let's do it this way. No, let's do it that way. Let's do it this way. Let's do it that way. So we had to first have a 20-minute conversation over which way it goes before we actually installed it. Jalen Velarices is here. How are you, Jalen? Oh, you're one of my favorite people. So now, did you say you were in Cebu? Did I read that correctly in one of your messages? Listen, my mind, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I seem to have remembered that somebody said that to me. I thought it might be you. Okay, so anyway, of course we put it on, we install it, and we're using all kinds of methodology. We tried wax, what do they call it? Glue gun, that melts the wax. And then we ended up just taking painter's tape because we knew we'd be it's an experiment. It's not going to be permanent, right? We're gonna figure out something else for permanency, but right now we have to stop the heat from tearing us up, right? Immediately, folks, we notice the difference. Man, Minnie, she's not so quick to admit it. Oh no, we're gonna have to wait till tomorrow when the sun comes up. And then I'll tell you whether this idea works or not. And I try to explain to her, Minnie, it's the law of thermodynamics. And then, of course, I had to get my my slide rule out. E equals MC square. I had to show it to her, John. I had to show her what the law of thermodynamics is all about, right? By the way, in case you don't remember what the law of thermodynamics is all about, right? Cool air does not chase warm air, nor does warm air chase cool air. But when they were telling you about your safety things, when you're a little kid, about how you tuck and roll during a fire, that's because they were telling you that the cool air is going to be near the floor and the hot air is going to be near the ceiling in a fire. So if you don't want to pass out and die from heat, what's it called? The exposure to the heat, nor breathing in all the toxic stuff because it'll rise, then you get as low to the ground as you possibly can, and you have a chance of surviving. Of course, it'll be dark in there with all the smoke, and you'll have to find your way to the door. But anyway, you won't be able to find your way to the window because I covered them all up. But we noticed the 5 or 10 degree drop in temperature almost immediately. So listen, I'm giving you this information all for free, right? You don't have to go look or pay for it or anything like that. Tim, it's all free. You don't have to study it. You just have to take my word for it that it works. And then you'll see this temperature drop. What I should have done was gotten the thermometer out, put it on the wall. I should have done a before and an after picture of the thermometer. Before the install, after the install. Dan wins. He's right every time. Even when I'm wrong, I am right. Everybody knows this. So anyway, so I'm satisfied with it, even though the installation didn't go as smoothly as I like, and we're still getting some light coming in through the windows, but that's okay as long as the majority of the heat does not enter into the concrete house, which everybody knows is hot as hell. Then I'm fine with it. I just don't want to be running the air conditioning system 10, 12, and 15 hours per day because we're trying to conserve energy. And what if they start rotating, what do they call it? Rotating blackouts like in Manila. What if they start rotating the brown and we're having brownouts? What would I do? What would I do? Oh, I know. I turn the generator on. No, I'm talking about, yeah, that's probably what I do. No, I really genuinely don't want to run the air conditioner. Besides that, you can't run, a generator only gives you a maximum of like this little one that we have only gives us a maximum of like 4,000 or 4,500 watts. And I mean, it only has about 50 amps to it max. 50 amps is all you're going to get out of it. That'll run the refrigerator, the television set, 2 fans, and quite possibly one horsepower, or maybe no, it'll run a 2 horsepower air conditioner. That's 50 amps. And so after that, if you can't make it on that 50 amps, well, you're screwed. You can't, that's all you're going to get out of it. That's it. 50 amps. Anyway, yeah, I know I'm a little bit lucky. Tim, how could you not miss the brownouts that are happening over there in your parts of the world? For crying out loud, you keep posting it every time there's a dang brownout in your neck of the woods. Every time I open up Facebook, it's them announcing it's you posting another brownout. You couldn't possibly be happy with the brownouts if you keep posting them on Facebook, announcing it to the world that you're suffering. Get yourself a Doughboy pool. Doesn't your place have a bathtub? Go soak in the bathtub. We all have to mitigate it within our budget, within our means. So aluminum foil is a very, very inexpensive fix. If you can afford to go out there and buy a roll or two of aluminum foil, you can take care of that. A couple of windows in the house. Even if you can't take care of all the windows that are facing the sun, do a couple of them. But houses are being built these days in the Philippines where they're very environmentally friendly. Yes, it's not for me. Is that what you're saying, Tim? That's only for your friends. Okay, I understand. So the whole thing is that they're starting to get very wise to this. And so when the architects or the planners, they start planning out homes and housing tracts, then what they do is they consider where the sun rises, where it sets, where the windows go. Now, I'm going to take care of this. I have a long-term solution for it, Larice. And it may, even though we have what we're supposed to be thermo radiant barrier windows from Australia, it hasn't worked out too well. So I'm just going to, if I can get away with it, I'll be putting netting up. You know, that netting that blocks the incoming solar radiation, I'll be putting netting up. that'll let some of the light in and not block out the stars and all that other stuff. And then I plan on double, what do they call that? Where you tint the glass. I'm going to hire the best dang tint guy, that tints your cars and never mind. Makes them dark, right? I'm going to have them come in and add 2 layers inside and outside of solar barrier to those windows. And so it may get a little bit dark in there, but can you say man cave? It's perfect for me, And so everybody's like, hey, where'd the lights go? So the in-laws came out from their room and they're looking around going, why is it so dark in here? Oh, another way you can mitigate it. All right. This is very, very important. Even if you're not burning electricity like crazy, this is always a good idea. If you go up to a regular standard light bulb, while the light is turned on, and you feel how hot it is, this will remind you of that toy that you got as a kid for Christmas. Some of you got it. Anime Rest, I'll bet you got one of these toys, right? It was called an Easy Bake Oven or something like it. And they used the light bulb, and then you sit there and your mom would be baking a cake. You would bake a cake too, right? And then you'd put it in a little pan that comes with a little light bulb oven. You would slam that thing in there, and a few minutes later, you got yourself a baked cake, just as good as any cake that your mom would make. And then your mom would sit there and you'd, put the frosting on it, licking the spoon and all that stuff. You know how kids are. You would do that, and you discover that light bulb was capable of cooking that cake. Now, why is that? It's because that light bulb is putting out a whole bunch of energy, right? Mwama, you're a chef, You're a chef. How many dishes are on, how many of your dishes are on Facebook today? Everyone know. So here's the whole thing. It cooks. You can go out. If you can fry an egg on the sidewalk, you can certainly make a cake inside one of those little ovens, one of those little toy ovens you got as a kid, using the light bulb as the energy source. So what is that telling you? That's telling you to go through your house, if you can afford to, and change all those light bulbs over to fluorescent. And that's what's on our agenda for tomorrow. So they have a cool 3-watt or 6-watt fluorescent bulb. They're the coolest bulb available on the market. Hopefully we'll be able to find one or 2 or 3. And we're taking all these light bulbs out because I went around and I put my hand, I tried to, but I was afraid I'd burn myself because I got within a couple of inches of those light bulbs and realized that they're emitting tremendous amounts of heat. So whenever you turn on the light, it's getting hot inside the house. It's a concrete house. It's going to retain the heat. You can't operate that way. Even if you have only one light source in your house, make sure that it is a fluorescent light. So go listen. I was going to go into details about what fluorescent is and all this other stuff, but this tip is worth money. It's worth gold. Lorraine, Pajares, I'm telling you, even if it's only one light bulb, make sure that it's fluorescent. You'll have to go ask the hardware clerk, the hardware store, or go into the Metro or someplace and say, Dan on YouTube said I need fluorescent lights. So you plug that in, and it will not emit heat, and that means it will mitigate how hot your house is. Avsor Channel is here. How are you? So it's going to mitigate it. It's going to keep the heat away. You'll feel good about keeping the heat away. Now, if you are running an air conditioner, I know that a lot of people are running an air conditioner only in one room, and I approve of your actions. But make sure that room that you're running that AC in, no, they're too hot. They burn hot. You know what? I asked the same question, Tim, about LED, and I went and checked it out. Google says the answer is Don't use LED. Fluorescent is the coolest bulb. No, no, no. I don't mean they're cool like me. I mean they have the lowest temperature, right? All right. So, oh, thank you for a belated happy birthday. Thank you, Sword Channel. I appreciate it. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. All right, now I'm getting old. I do want to talk about the Corona experience. I hope that I'm not going to. I hope I'm not going to offend anybody by doing this. I've covered now the energy portion, the energy saving segment of. I know you weren't expecting this. I knew you weren't. Larice, you didn't come here. You weren't expecting me to talk about this. By the way, Larice is going to be having, I know a couple of you in here. I can't remember, probably everybody, Charam, probably everybody in here is going to be having some type of a giveaway. And so is Larice. So go check it out. I think it's a birthday giveaway. I can't remember everything. I'm going senile. I can't remember everything, but I know something's going on. I just don't know exactly what it is. If you want details, then you go to Larice's channel and you find out what it's all about. Thank you so much, Anime, for encouraging everybody to go in there and give me a few extra points. Oh, and well, Anime, I don't know if I shared this with you, right? Or Aileen, I don't know if I shared this with you, but I'm going to share it with everybody now. So I became monetized a couple of months ago, right? So I was showing Mertz. I was showing Pacquiao Mertz. I was showing her what I'm up to. I think I'm up to. I can't remember where it was when I showed her. So I got a few more bucks on the books now. So I think I'm up to like almost $58 and change. Do you know that you could laugh at me if you want? Because I know some of you are making the big money. Right, I know some of you you're making like 150 a month in American money in your YouTube channel. There's some of you making 300 and 400 a month, right? But I got on the books right now, so I got $57 or $58. That means I got another 32 or 33 to go to get that $100 thing. So that means I missed the cutoff. I missed the cutoff for this month, right? I did not get a salary. I'm very disappointed, but I most likely will if I meet the cutoff, the next cutoff cycle for May. And so please go into my channel, watch all the commercials. I know a lot of you do. I pay attention. Listen, I would say 90% of you that are in here in the chat are suffering through the entire thing. I know you are. You're suffering through the entire thing. Oh, we love you, Dan. You're sitting there watching. Yeah. You know every word of the script of my videos, and you're sitting there and your lips are probably moving while you're watching my videos. You've seen them so many times over and over again. I know Anime has. I know that for a fact, right? Oh, you have 11 on the books. That's great. That's a lot. That really is a lot. So because I was going to say, Tim, this is important. I'm glad you shared that, because the majority of people that are on YouTube don't even turn one stinking centavo. And so if you even turn 10 centavos, I found this out on YouTube channel, 10 centavos, you are in the 1 or 2% of YouTube earners. I found this out. Listen, most people never earn not a stinking dime, not 10 cents. And here we are rolling in it. Here we are rolling in the dough. Dan's got $57, $58 on the books. I probably have another month to go before I get payday. Tim has got $11 on the books. Can you imagine? And Mertz, I know you're having a great month. And the whole thing is that the majority of people on YouTube don't even earn even 1 centavo. And that is saying something. If you're an earner on YouTube, that means people love you. Thank you so much for loving me. I really appreciate it. That's the whole point of bringing this up. And I will always wish you well, in your journey, in your YouTube journey. So now let's talk about it a little bit because something did come up, right? So there have been one or two of my friends that have been strange. It's such a strange thing. They have been not only canceled from YouTube, but they have been banned. Yes, Mertz. Yes, she's saying that it's not easy to achieve $100. That's right. You're a superstar if you can get to that paycheck, that first $100, right, in American money. Less taxes, of course, greedy bastards. Don't get me talking about taxes in the U.S. Well, of course not. But you know what? You know what I want to do? I want to do with the money, Tim. I want to give it away, of course. So the more money I make, the more money I get to give away. Des is here. Hi, Des. And so that means that if you want Dan to give away the money and you want to have an opportunity to be the recipient of that money, then you go watch all the commercials and you let Dan get his paycheck and then you'll get your paycheck. That's the way the world works. That's absolutely the way the world works. And so, no, even though I never started it with that ambition, now I realize that, hey, I need this, Des. Thanks for being a member for 1 month. I need this because I want to be able to share this money with you, because when I'm sharing the money, then Dan's making the money. It's a circular thing, right? You watch the videos, don't skip the commercials. I get money, and then I call you up and say, "Hey, Des, I got a few extra bucks. I got a few extra bucks this month. I'm going to send it to your Gcash." I know you're all saying, "Oh, Dan is just talking smack." Am I just talking smack? To you people that have been on the receiving end of Dan's, if for you guys that have been on the receiving end, I don't think that you think that I'm kidding one bit about my intentions, not one bit. So anyway, that's the story. That's what we're trying to accomplish, right? And it would be nice if it paid for my internet connection each month. Yeah, that's right. And so that's not too lofty of a goal, I would say. I would say that's a very reasonable goal, Tim. All right. I talked about canceled. I was going to start. Okay, I got all excited about the money. I want to talk about the friends that are canceled. Okay. One of them was rolling in the dough. One of my friends is making hella money, right? He asked me, he said it was okay to talk about it. Show me the money, Larice. Show me the money. Oh man. Yeah. So Larice, I'm not such a stingy guy, am I? And neither are you. You're not a guy, that's why. But here, let's talk about this for a second. Thank you so much for the 50 pesos super chat. I really appreciate it. You guys are pushing me over the top. All right, but Alien Cruise, here's the thing. I want to talk about it. So I have a friend who's a YouTube. He's a roller, right? He's always giving me advice, and then I'm kind of like, go away, You're embarrassing yourself. Go away, right? So, but I mean, the guy is making like $7,000 or $8,000 a month on YouTube, and he's a relatively young guy, but he's been working his YouTube channel for 10 years, and then all of a sudden, I know that one or two of you in the chat have been on the receiving end of this, and so I'm bringing this up. All of a sudden, they send him 1, 2 or 3 line letter, and it basically says, your channels are being deleted and you are banned from YouTube for the rest of your life. And he practically falls off his chair. He's calling everybody, telling everybody, right? Can you believe it? What do you do, right? Well, what you do is you launch a YouTube campaign. And so he followed all the rules, He claims he did. Do I believe him? No. We've been friends for a long time. No, but I did discover what it was that caught their attention, right? And if I don't want to be banned, then I can't share with you what it was. But it was one video. That's all it took to piss him off. It was one video that was very, very political, based on, he was talking about current events. And he is an ethnic minority. So I told him, I said, oh, this is easy to figure out after I saw the video, right? So he says, what I was not instrumental in encouraging him on what to do, because he's been doing this for like 10 years. So he figured it out himself, right? He launched a YouTube campaign before they deleted his channel. Guess what happened? 1 trillion people called in and said, you are a bunch of racist bigots. And if you delete my man's channel, I'm going to delete you right off of my phone. And it'll be the last time that you ever hear from me again. You know, and so if you don't want me to leave, you will not be deleting our superheroes channel. And it worked. So many people wrote in with their comments of disgust, right? That YouTube, the only time I've ever heard them ever doing this, changed their minds and said, uh-oh, we better not do this. YouTube, trust me, would have looked very, very badly had this all come out. Now, I'm not mentioning names, videos, or anything. In other words, but this happened, this event occurred. And so it will occur it doesn't matter if it's a small channel, a big channel, or any kind of channel. They're looking for, it's AI, it's artificial intelligence. It runs on automatic pilot. They're so good at it that even when you call to complain, you're talking to a robot, you know, and the robot has a script, right? And it learns on the fly. And so the robot is very, very good at denying you the opportunity to state your case by saying over and over again, I'm so sorry that this has happened. There's nothing that we can do about it. But there's a human being somewhere in this operation, right? And all you have to do is make sure that that human being knows that you're alive, and then you have a chance of saving your channel. And what it was about, it was that political commentary that he did on current affairs. And also, he was doing this. And I know some of you, I know because I watch your channels, there might be 1 or 2 or 10 of you, or all of us are doing it. I believe all of us have done this at one time or another. Reusing the same video over and over again by moving it to a different channel, right? Don't be doing that, because the algorithm is going to catch it. It won't catch it. The AI won't catch it immediately. Sometimes it takes a long time, and sometimes they never catch it. But why would you want to take the chance, right? Why if my friends did that for me, YouTube would be inundated with maybe 4 emails. 4 emails might be what gets them to change their mind. And so some of you have multiple, here's the point, I'm trying to help you out, right? Some of you have multiple channels, right? And so let's say that you take, I'm just giving you an example, right? I'm just talking here. And I'm talking, giving you friendly advice, right? I'm not critiquing. I would not know who in here does this. Listen, it's a lie. I know who in here does it. Listen, it's a total and complete lie. All right, I apologize. All right, I can't pull this off. I got to tell you, I worry about folks that move snippets of videos that they've played on one channel and edit them for shorts on the second channel. All right. And AI is going to catch that. They will demonetize you if you're lucky. If you're lucky, they'll demonetize you, and then they're going to give you an opportunity to gear up again. They're going to give you an opportunity to make good. Go in and fix it. promise you'll never do it again, and you could maintain and keep your YouTube channels. But every now and again, right, they send a nasty gram to your email and it says, you're out. We're sick of you. You know, we've discovered that you're not only doing this on this channel, but you're doing it on 10 others. And that's the problem. You see, they'll take snippets from one video and they're going to squeeze every ounce of liquid out of that, right? And they're making money. And see, they're saying that it ain't fair. I say all's fair in love and war. So if you want to do it, all I'm doing is presenting a factoid to you, something that I have personal knowledge about. And they don't call me Dogmatic Dan for nothing. No. Wait, what channel am I on? I crack myself up. Listen, do not listen to anything that Dan says. I gave you the disclaimer at the beginning of the video. Do not listen or apply anything that Dan tells you in these live streams, all right? You've been warned. You've been warned. It can't come back on me because I have the disclaimer. I let you know what it was all about. All right, what's up next? Okay, Melanie. Melanie, why are you using your real name today instead of the backwards name? That's what I'd like to know. I'm so confused. Anna G is here. Anna G, how are you? Hey, so let's talk about Corona. All right, some of you saw the video. I was very nice to the video. I can tell you why. I want to tell you guys a story. I want to tell you a story. Another story, Dan. Yes, you're gonna have to suffer. You're gonna have to suffer through this last story. Hopefully, it'll be the last one, and then we're gonna do the money part. The Sunday night story with Dan. Well, you told me you weren't available anymore to do that, Tim, didn't you? No, I'm just kidding. No, we should do Sunday, huh? No, Sunday is Larry Lee's day. Let's talk about the Corona. All right. Let me reveal a couple things, right? I could have gone anywhere. Mammy and I, we could have gone anywhere. We went to Corona. It was a Philippine airline freebie because my frequent flyer miles were getting ready to expire. I'm not really a Philippine airline fan. So I said, well, let's throw a dart on at the map and see where it lands. And so it lands in Corona, right? So we end up going to Palawan. So it was a free flight. So now we get there. The hotel wasn't much more expensive. But again, I'm compiling all my genius points together in order to squeeze out the freebies. I'm trying to get my money out of these high price airplane tickets and staying at these hotels like the Conrad and the Hilton and stuff like that. No, I don't stay there. But you're in big time points, right? If you do stay there. But I have points, right? And so I was trying to make it so it was going to be a zero cost. But things did not turn out exactly the way that I thought that they would. I was happy. Of course I was happy. You get a free flight, free hotel room, free food, free tour. You get to go do all this stuff, right? And then I get put in a bad mood, a very bad mood, right from the get-go. And most of you know what this is all about, right? We land in there at Busuanga Airport. First thing I do is get off. We get bused over to the main terminal, or we walk. I can't remember. But we get over there. And before they let you leave the baggage claim area, you are required to pay a 200 peso fee for each person in your party. So before you pass through into the outside world, they hit you up for 400 peso. And so they call it, so people don't get mad, they call it an environmental tax, environmental fee, so that everybody will be happy knowing that they did their job by paying 200 pesos to get out of the airport for the environment of Coron Palawan. Okay. So I was irritated by that. Not because they said it was an environmental fee. People, you can't be mad at us. It's an environmental fee. Folks, it's a tax. It's a tax. So they taxed us before we even got out of there. So now I'm in the hole, right? And I thought this whole thing was going to be free. I thought it was going to be a gratuitous. I thought I was going to be able to come back and say, ha 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 ha, I got a freebie. I got no freebie, right? Because now I'm out 400 pesos. Then I get out there and some dude that looks like me, which is irritating enough, comes up to me and says, Lizabel, Manalao is here. How are you? It comes up to me and says, oh, by the way, you have to pay 250 pesos per person to get the van into town. And so I'm looking at this guy, right? I'm looking around and then it starts, right? It starts. I go, did you pay 250? I'm pointing to the gal saying, yeah, I got to pay 250. Are you paying 250? Yeah, I got to pay 250. So I go around a circle and they're going, we don't know what to make of you, Mr. Dan. Just pay the 250 per person for the van right into town. So now I'm thinking to myself, cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. I haven't even gotten my first beer yet. I haven't even gotten to the hotel and I'm out all this money, right? And then the idiot who calls himself the airport coordinator looks over at me and says in Tagalog, I do not like you. And he looks around to everybody. I don't like this guy, right? And so I go up to him and I say, I don't give a crap if you like me or you don't like me. I will bet you $1 to donuts that you did not pay 250 pesos to get to work today. And I will bet you $1 to donuts that you will not pay 250 pesos to get home. Now, are you going to stand there and tell me that you do? He says, you're the rich one. I'm not the rich one. I said, the reason why I have money and you don't is because I don't pay 250 pesos each way to get back and forth to the resort, to town. That's why I have money. And I suspect that you don't make very prudent decisions in your life, and that's why you don't have money. How far is it to town? And then the guy laughs at me. He says, well, if you leave now, it was about 10 in the morning, right? He says, if you leave now, you should get there by 4 p.m. I look over at Man Mini and I said, well, he says, we'll get there by 4. Let's start walking. Oh, my wife, she starts, why? Why do you have to do this? Why? So she starts looking over at me like, you know, I said, I'm an old man. Old men do these things, right? This is what we do. And so I said, now, I said, Minnie, let me explain. If you walk that away, right out the exit door, right out where it says where that stop sign is, I'll bet you there are trike riders waiting right there to take people into town, right? And so I go back. I said, there are trike riders outside that gate right there, right? They're going to take me into town for 20 or 30 pesos. The guy starts laughing. He said, if you make it that far, right? But before you get on that trike, the security guard is going to come over to you and he's going to demand that you pay 250 pesos. It doesn't matter if you ride that trike or not. So the trike is there. It's the same one you brought to work, isn't it? So then this guy, oh my gosh, man, he was lit up like a Christmas tree. He didn't know what to do with me. Everybody was gathering around. All the tourists were like, holy smokes, you're on vacation. You should give the money freely so all these people would have work. But I started thinking of something. I started thinking about when I was in the 9th grade. Yeah. Yeah, if I didn't bring enough money, I was stuck. And a lot of people get stuck there, Filipinos, right? But they'll negotiate with you. They won't negotiate with me. So here's what happens right at 9. I'm in the 9th grade. I have a brilliant geography professor, a geography teacher, and or social sciences, right? All things social. And he teaches me something that I've never ever forgotten. By the way, he still teaches at university today at 77 years old, a very well known university, I might add. And he says to me, he says, I'm going to teach you an economic theory, right? I said, okay, I want to learn economics. And he says, more and more of less and less equals more. And I go, what? Explain that again. Listen carefully. More and more of less and less equals more. And so now I'm teaching you. Yes, there'll be a test. There'll be a test at the end of this live stream. And what he was saying to me was that the less taxes that you charge, the more money people will spend. Are you following me? The less you take out of their pocket, where you don't give them anything in return, where they can't see anything tangible, the more money they will spend. So he's saying in town, he's saying that 200 pesos per person, that's 400, then another 500. And what would you have been doing once you got into town? I said I would have been over there in the restaurant. I would have been buying drinks for the house. I was in a good mood until then. See what I mean? Are you guys following me? Oh my goodness. So, listen, it's worth the price of admission coming to my live streams. I will teach you about life. And so I never forgot it. And so I'm sharing that lesson with you. And so the whole thing is that they could be making, see, as I explained to when I got to the hotel, and the guy was sitting there, even when I talked to him about it, the hotel manager, he was like this. He. And I said to him, he. See, the problem with the way you have this all set up is that you will only visit Coron once, and then you will never come back again. That's what the problem is. We know that, sir. That's what he says to me. We know that, sir. And he laughs in front of me. He laughs. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? And so anyway, I'm talking about this later after we get back, right? I'm talking about this at the coffee shop. And the guys are like, that's why none of us go anywhere. We just sit here and listen to your stupid stories because it doesn't cost us any money. And then we go home and we share the story with our wives. They get a crack at, they crack up. Well, doesn't Dan know this? Why did you let him go off to Coron and have to go through this? You could have told him that he was going to get fleeced. All right, so check this out. I am the idiot, and I'm going to tell you why. There were two other vloggers there the same time we were there. And if you go and search Coron, you're going to discover who they were, right? And the person I'm talking about, right, who's way smarter than I am. Oh, sure, I understand, Des, because you're feeding the kitties and stuff. You're making dinner and everything. No, I understand that. So here's the thing, right? I'm trying to give it to you straight. I'm trying to give it to you as straight as I can. I'm letting you know what it's all about so that you decide to go there. You're not going to get screwed over like I am. But here's the other vlogger, right? Another foreigner. Why do they refer to all foreigners as being Canos? So this guy is a Cano, but he's a Canadian Cano, right? So if you go in and search YouTube videos for Coron Palawan, the same dates I was there, his is going to pop up too, right? You'll see mine and you're going to see his. And the girls, there were like 3 or 4 of us, right? Everybody there was carrying a camera around. And they were doing it the same way. Oh, I got to go do this so I can get a quick 30-second frame, 30-second shot of this, 30-second shot of that. And next thing you know, I got a video, right? I got an 8-minute video. They were all doing the same thing. It's hilarious to watch. Well, anyway, so he knew. And so what he did was he called his friends that live on the island. It's good to have friends that live on the island. They came and they waited for him outside the main gate. And he jumped into that car and rode off into the sunset. His friends had already warned him about it, even though it was his first trip to Coron. All right, now ask me the question, Dan, are you ever going to Coron again? No. Nope. Even though they're nice people there, I met a lot of nice people, right? I am never going back. I'm never going back because first impressions mean everything. And that's my final thought on this subject. First impressions mean everything. And so when you go in there, do you get a warm, fuzzy feeling? Do you think you would? If you had to go through what I and Ma'am Minnie had to go through, do you think you get a warm, fuzzy feeling? Oh, these people love me on this island. They want me to come back. They gave me a ride into town. I explained. I don't just complain. I actually come with solutions that make sense. I told them, I told the guys, listen, I had a lot of fun with this. I got to tell you how. I told the guy I told the guy the way you do this so that you can get rich, you can make a lot of money, is you give a free bus ride from the airport to the transportation center. And then there at the transportation center is where you do the triage. That way, people have this great impression of Coron when they first land, or Botswana. They say, oh, I'm getting a free ride to the airport. I don't know how to deal with the environmental fee. As far as the bus ride in, right, you cancel all that crap out. It's a scam. You give everybody a free ride into the transport center there, and then you let the drivers make the money. Let them from that transportation center take all the guests to their appointed hotels. There were vans only carrying 2 people. There were like 15 or 20 vans in the parking lot waiting for guests to arrive. And then some of those vans, they only had 2 people on board. Now, is that an environmentally friendly way, Larice, of running an operation? If you really, really were environmentally concerned and friendly and dialed in, would you leave a 15-passenger? Would you let, Larice, a 15-passenger van leave the airport with only 2 people on it? I think not. You wouldn't do it, Larice. Nobody here in this chat would allow that to happen. So none of you in here would allow that to happen because you're genuine folks. You're true to yourselves and your beliefs. And that's what the problem with the whole thing was. See, that's how that's why I'm characterizing it as a scam. It's a scam, and I don't think anybody should go there. Kayana's here. All right, I'm done ranting about that. I've got it on my system. I'm probably going to be banned. Anna's here. Oh no, Minnie is here. Hey, I'm probably going to be banned now. It was nice knowing all of you. It was very nice knowing all of you. Let me do a little paperwork here for a second. Thank you. All right, so now what's next? All right. Oh, now we have to give away some money. So I hope there might be a couple of you, 1 or 2 that don't agree with me in here. I'm okay with it. Some of you could suggest that I overreacted to the whole thing, and you might even have the same belief that the airport travel coordinator had, where he says, well, you have plenty of money. You should be able to just fart it out your ass, and let all of us get rich off of you. I don't know. You might feel the same way about it. Anyway, I just don't believe it was right. And so I'm done with that deal. Got it out of my system, right? I don't have any questions yet. Shane, I gotta look up the questions here first. I have an idea in my head what I want to ask, but somebody's sending me a nasty gram already on the. I have unsubscribed from your channel. Yeah, but let me ask you a question. Why in the hell do you have to announce it to me? Why do you have to announce that you're leaving? Just go. I won't be thinking about you anymore. Just get the hell out. Who cares? I don't know why people do that, right? Do you know why people do that? Oh, you've insulted me and my fellow Coronians. I'm unsubscribing from your channel. Who gives a rat's ass? I don't care. Go away. Go away. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There are all kind of comments here. Why don't they just come in the chat and lay it out there? I know why you won't lay it out there, because you're going to get bombarded. Yes, a whole bunch of Filipinos are going to attack you. That's why. That's why you won't come on here and say what's on your mind. That's why you won't do it. All right, I'm still working on it here. Other than that, it's been a really crappy month. So I'm looking forward to May already. How about you guys? Anime still hanging in there with us. Mertz is laughing her ass off. I know I'm one of a kind. So, oh man, doggone it. I'm supposed to be asking questions so we can win a prize. So we got 3 prizes we're giving away tonight. 200 pesos each. But I got to find the questions here. Oh my gosh. Okay, the first one I have on my mind is. Okay, hang on. Tim might know the answer to a couple of these. So Tim, shush. Let's see. In fact, I'm almost sure these questions are right up Tim's alley. I haven't seen Knitband lately, nor have I talked to him in a couple of days. I hope he's okay. I hope he's up hobbling around now. I think he is. All right, I think this is kind of an easy one, right? I think you guys are going to know this from school. You're not going to have to look it up, I think, on the Google, but I did, right? Because I wasn't sure which one. Because you got 3 or 4 or 5 that are very, very close to each other. I mean, within meters of each other. Okay, I'm giving away the question. All right. Here we go. Question number 1 for 200 pesos. What is the highest peak in the Philippines? And yes, we're talking about the highest peak, the highest mountain in the Philippines. Whoever answers first, put it in the chat. Good luck, guys. Oh, wait, we have a winner. We have a winner already. I forgot. I should have been looking at my my other phone. See, I knew it. I knew you all would know this. Okay. Okay, someone check me to make sure that I have the right winner. Is it Minnie O? Was she the first one? Mount Apo, Minnie. I believe you're the winner. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you were first up. Hey, I can't remember many. If I have your you didn't know, Tim. Well, gosh darn it. I thought you would. You're going to know the answer to the next question, though, Tim. So send me your Gcash number so I can get that out to you. If I don't make me look for it. I'm sure I have it here, but I mean, my desk is a mess. I just got back. So if you wouldn't mind sending it to me in the messenger chat, congratulations. You are a 200 peso winner, but you're out of the game for right now because we want someone else to win, right? The next prize. Okay, and I think I know what the question's going to be. Probably will be another Boondocks related question. Yeah. Good evening, Abby Menges here. Hi, everybody. All right. All right. Okay, here we go. I want the exact date on this next question. Exact date, because everyone in this chat should know it. All right, here we go. It's going to be easy for you to find, too, if you have to search for it. So good luck to everybody on question number 2. The second largest volcanic eruption of the 20th century occurred at Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines on what date? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. What date? The whole date. I said I want the whole date. The whole date, not just the year. I want all the info. It looks like Mawilma. Charam, it was 1991, but more specifically, I was looking for Mawilma. June 15th. 1991, Mawilma is the winner for 200 pesos. All right. Hey, what did happen on February 28th, 2000? Sparked my curiosity now. 200 for Mawilma. All right. Any disputes can be sent to me and we'll work them out offline. And you won't be able to talk badly about me. Okay, that's the rules. All right, let's see. I got to come up with another one. All right. This is going to be pretty easy too, I think. Everybody's waiting with anticipation. All right. All right. Are you guys ready? I'm ready. I have the question now. I have it right here in my hand. Okay. And I want specific answer on this. A specific answer. Complete date. Complete everything. Complete date and complete name. All right. Who was elected the 17th president of the Philippines? Who was elected the 17th president of the Philippines and on what date? Do 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 do. I got nothing so far. Hey, come on, you guys. Do 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 You didn't know that you had 17 presidents? Who was the 17th? What? Mel. Oh. No, it was Marcos. Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. I'm out of control. It was President Marcos on June 30th, 2022. So a whole bunch of you have given me that date, so let me go look now. Marcos, June 30th, 2022. Cha Ram, did you beat me out of the 200 pesos anyway? Did you? I think so. All right. Any disputes that arise, I will say it again. Just bring them to my attention, and then we'll take care of it. Mel, I think Mel was the first one to give me the name. Right? Let me see. Let me go back. Let me go back and take a look. I got my phone here. I gotta go back and take a look to see if what Mel had to say here. Oh, why did you say 2000? Why did you say 2010, Mel? I'm just curious. Was that a typo? All right, we'll talk offline about that. I think you were close. You were really close there, Mel. All right, everybody, we're good to go. We got 3 winners. We got Minio, Mawelma, and Cha Ram were the first up to post, and so we'll be sending that Gcash money out ASAP. Thanks so much for joining us. And hey, what I thought, man, Minnie was going to come. Minnie, are you here? Minnie. Minnie. I don't know what happened. I thought she was going to come in and say hello. Okay, I'll make sure she's here on the next one. We will see you for sure on the next one. Absolutely. Good night and take care. And thanks so much for your support, Minnie, and I truly appreciate it. Bye-bye.